would say that, I mean, I think that all ideas should be heard. There may be ideas that are, so crazy and so obviously baseless that and indefensible that there may be some red line at some point where you say that is just too marginalized and baseless a notion. But generally speaking, I think democracy functions and our country is strong because of the free flow of information. And that, as you just pointed out, you don't really, you don't have any basis. The best basis for determining whether a certain argument is true is to watch it challenged and defended. And so I think that's the healthy way to and the democratic way to make a determination. I mean, I don't think I.
But as you start to wade into those waters to see what people say about you, it's just that. Like, it's very rare.
They'll say I'm lying, but then nobody really asks the next question about what. Show me the statement that he made that is actually untrue, because they had these. We found out they have had these debates quietly at Facebook, etc. And they had to make up a new, because they realized, like Instagram took me down for misinformation, for lying, and I had almost a million followers. And they said it was because I was promoting misinformation and lies. And then when we asked them, can you show one post that I've made that is actually factually incorrect, they are unable to do it, because everything I posted was either cited or sourced to either a peer-reviewed publication or a government database. And so
in today's volatile,
I don't think people put me in that category that you just described. They say my ideas are so insane that the public shouldn't even hear them. And but then if you ask them which of my ideas are so insane, they can't really name them, except they'll say things that they think I believe that I never said, because there's so many distortions about what I have said and what I haven't said. And but I don't think there's anything I say that, most 99% of Americans would say, oh, that sounds pretty common sense. But there's a lot of pejoratives applied to me, that I'm anti-vax, not true, that I'm anti-science, that I'm racist, that I'm anti-Semitic, and all of these are, inventions of people who want to silence me. And if you actually ask them, I'm a conspiracy theorist, what is the conspiracy that I said, that I actually said, that you think is a conspiracy?
That one's.
And I'll debate anybody on any statement I made. And, we did this when I was on Joe Rogan. He had Peter Hotez, who's this, what I would call a kind of a corrupt scientist who's an insider in the, we call him biostitutes. He's an insider in the pharmaceutical industry. And he was sitting on the sidelines saying I was lying about all these things. And Joe Rogan said, would you debate him? And I said, I'll debate him anytime, anywhere. And Joe Rogan, I think, offered him $100,000. And then David Sachs added
the total got up high.
I think it was 2.6 million in the end, or something like that.
It's bananas. And he still passed.
And he wouldn't do it. So that tells you something.
Aggressively.
Right? It tells you something that he doesn't feel confident enough in his ideas that he can defend them. And I can be wrong about stuff, but I mean, I hope, right? I have lots of a track record of doing this. That if somebody calls me out because I got something wrong, that my reaction to that is to go back and fix it and say, yeah, I got that wrong, and here's the right. Thanks for pointing that out. in this book, The Real Anthony Fauci, I say in the beginning, there's 2,200 footnotes in there, and there's a lot of factual assertions. And I invite people, and I, we put what do you call the QR code next to each one so you can look up my source while you're reading. And
that's really smart.
Yeah, so that people can check me immediately. So, and I invite people in the first page of this book, I say, if you find an error in this book, please tell us about it, because we ended up with like 30 editions to that book. And anytime there's a new edition, I can correct an error. So that's what you do with errors. When you're wrong, you acknowledge it, you correct it, and then you keep going. But so I think that is the way that it's supposed to operate, and that's the way I operate. I'm not going to stand on a fact that is wrong, that I've been shown that it's wrong.
Yeah, here's an idea that I think